Okay, so the next question is compare ES5 with ES6. So creating React components the ES5 way involves the use of React.create class method. Okay, so this is my program. So the comments component can now be rendered either inside another React component or directly in the call to React DOM.render. Okay, something like this: React DOM.render comments document.query selector of app.app. Okay, so ES5 components have some particular qualities. So here, to set the state to an initial value, create the get initial state function on the component. Okay, what it returns will be the initial state for a component when rendered. Okay, and you can set the default props for the component to have a certain value with the get default props method on the ES5 version. Okay, so the display name is used in debugging and error reporting by React. So if you use JSX, then the display name is automatically filled out. Okay, so for some it's a common practice to denote a custom method added to the React component by prefixing it with a underscore. Okay, so hence handle click underscore handle click is passed as the on click callback for a button in the code. Okay, so we can't do this so easily in the ES6 API of React. Okay, because the ES5 version was auto binding, but the ES6 is not. So let's check what auto binding actually provides. Okay, so coming to this particular example here, this one, where thing equals name gen speak colon function, when we are printing this dot name, and then we have this line window dot add event listener key up thing dot speak. So invoking thing dot speak function in the console will log gen, but pressing a key will log undefined because the context of the callback is the global object. The browser's global object underscore window underscore becomes this inside the speak function. So this dot name becomes window dot name, which is undefined. Okay, so React in ES5 automatically does auto binding, effectively doing this one. Okay, so window dot add event listener key up thing dot speak dot bind of thing. So automatically auto binding binds of functions to the React component instance so that passing the function by reference in the render works seamlessly. Okay, so coming to creating React components in ES6 way. Okay, works quite differently. So here we have class extends syntax. Okay, and there is no auto binding feature here. So we have a constructor that we use to set the initial state. Okay, and then we can add default props and a display name as properties of the new class created. Okay, and the render method, which works as normal. Okay, but we have had to alter how we pass in the callback function. Okay, so this current approach button on click equals that round brackets you have, which implies this dot underscore handle click, then click me button will create a new function each time the component is re-rendered. So if it becomes a performance bottleneck, you can always bind manually. No auto binding, you can always bind manually and store the callback. Okay, so this is how you can do here. This is the modification. Okay, so you can observe the difference between this one and doing a manual binding in these cases. Okay, if you check this here, we are binding this here. Okay, this is an ES5. So here we are binding it in the constructor function here.